All right. Welcome everybody to Netivot Shalom Shir, Rosh Chodesh, Sivan. A few days away from Shavuot, when the Torah was given, we heard thunder and lightning. We saw the thunder and heard the lightning. And now, as we sit here, as we've just had, Chanasura had to run to the bomb shelter because sirens were heard in Mavo Modi'in, obviously in the Tel Aviv area. My daughter was in Netanya vacationing, just heard sirens there and a boom. And we asked Hashem to protect all of Klal Yisrael from our enemies who try all the time to kill us and to destroy us. And the zechut of this learning of the Netivot Shalom about Shavuot bring us to a time when we can mamish see the coming of Mashiach, and the coming of Mashiach when there will no more be war. People will recognize the presence of Hashem in this world. So let's begin. Netivot Shalom is going to talk about Anochi Hashem Elokecha. Anochi Hashem Elokecha, as we know, is the first of the Aseret HaDibrot. And he's going to ask questions as to why the language of Anochi Hashem Elokecha is different than other kinds of things. For example, the other Aseret HaDibrot are given in a language of commanding. Whoa. The message I just got is Hamas launched over 100 rockets at Tel Aviv. Well, okay. So the question is, a number of questions. The other of the Aseret HaDibrot, the 10 Commandments, are commanded. Do not do this, and so on. But the first one, Anochi Hashem, is not a commandment, but yet it's the basis of all commandments. Then the question is asked, Anochi Hashem Elokecha asher tzayisich me'eretz Mitzrayim, I'm the Lord your God who brought you out of Mitzrayim. Why doesn't it say I'm the Lord your God who created the world? So these are a couple of questions that the Netivot Shalom is going to be dealing with. And he's going to be pointing out that the language has some specific meaning to we Jews, and has a meaning to us that we can apply to this very moment that we're going through right now. That it may seem like a dark time. You know, we're being attacked by hundreds, by this point, probably thousands of rockets, over 1,000 rockets by Hamas in our cities. And we have to have a emunah that Hashem will bring us out of any difficulty that we have, just as he brought us out from Mitzrayim. So let's read the words of the Netivot Shalom. Anochi Hashem Elokecha asher tzayisich me'eretz Mitzrayim. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt. Kusho to Rishonim. Amai no lo nemar Anochi Hashem Elokecha asher barasi es olam. The first question is, why doesn't it say, I am the Lord your God who created the world? V'yoter kasha, another question is, Api Shitat Rambam, as the Rambam says, Hamona Miyamar Zeh, the mitzvah Rishona, Mitarag mitzvahs. He counts the mitzvah of Anochi Hashem Elokecha as the first of his enumeration of all the 613 commandments. Lahamim, the Metzios Hashem, Shayu Tzarech Lomer Asher Barasi Es Olam. To believe in the actuality, the reality of Hashem, which should have said, who created the world. So he says, why isn't it written in the language of a command? You shall have emunah, you shall believe in God. We also have to understand, why is it said, who brought you out of the land of Egypt? Arikamatan Torah Niftahu Kol Zayin Rakim. At the time of Matan Torah, all 7 firmaments were opened up so that you could see from one end of the world to the other and up all to the sky as far as you could see. Ro HaKol, and everybody saw Ki B'Shemayim Mimav V'Horas Mitachas Ein Od Milvado. They clearly saw that in the heavens above and the earth below, there was nobody but Hashem. We have to realize that right now too. You know, we're being bombarded by rockets. We can't let that worry us. You have to take precautions. Hopefully, if there's a bomb shelter, you'll get to a bomb shelter. If not, you just have a mood in Hashem, that Hashem will take us out of this. So l'shem ma tzorich, ma hutzrich, let's say similar noche Hashem okecha. So why does it have to give this kind of a language added to I am the Lord your God? Would have been enough to say I am the Lord your God. Why does it have to say I'm the Lord your God who did this or that? Hashem is Hashem. That would have been enough. Yes, also we have to understand. Why does Hashem tell us in that first commandment, who brought you out of the land, the house of slavery? What's that teaching us? You can't explain the intent of this sentence. You can't say that God is telling us, I brought you out of slavery to teach us that just as that you are chayiv, you must do my will. You must do my will because I did these things for you. Lasos ritzoni, to do my will, because I did these good things. I brought you out of the house of bondage. Hashem does not work like that. Hashem does not say that he will save us in return for what we have done. That we should, or on the contrary, that we should serve him only because of what he has done to us. That's not the reason for it. Every single day, this is something that's so important to remember. Every single day, God is doing us kindnesses that we can't count. We can't count, we don't recognize them. You look around you. I mean, right now in this time of war in Israel, Nebuch, 2 people were killed.
Nate, I
Yes.
just saw at least 30 missiles in the sky.
Wow.
I'm just watching them one after the other being like blown up in the sky, but like they just keep coming. They're one after the other, one after the other.
Well, it said they launched 100, so this must be part of that 100, or maybe it's more.
I'm seeing, oh God, it just doesn't stop. I'm seeing them all the time from Dina's porch. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Are you in the house?
No, I went out on the porch and I'm just watching a light show of missiles coming and blowing up in the sky.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's no point in going in that. It doesn't matter where I am.
Right.
Really
Bezrat Hashem, Hashem will enable our wonderful shluchim in the form of the Tzahal to shoot every one of those things down.
Yeah.
I mean, turn those on their enemies away from us.
Yeah.
I see. All right. So I was saying, every single day, Hashem is doing us kindnesses without number. And I was saying, even though Nebuch, 2 people were killed, a lot of people were injured. Nonetheless, a lot of people were saved. A lot of people were not injured. And hopefully this is playing out right now, where these missiles are in the midst of a heavily populated area. And Bezrat Hashem, they won't kill anybody, they won't injure anybody, they won't do any damage. Pinu mali shira kayam. We say in Nishmas, if our words were full of song, as much song in our mouth as the sea has waves, as the sea has water, we would not have enough words to thank God for his kindnesses. Regardless of the chesed, the kindness that Hashem did and take us out of Mitzrayim, we are chayav. We must listen to his voice. Yesh lomar. Others say, "Dehine pasuk zeh aroch Hashem Elokecha hu yesod mitzvos hamuna Hashem." This pasuk, "Anochi Hashem Elokecha, I am Lord your God," is the foundation, the very foundation of emunah in God, and belief in God. Most Omar Rambam, as the Rambam says, "U'emunah yesh shtei chalukim." There are two different parts of emunah. Echad, emunah shakadosh baruch hu borei kol ha'olamim. One of the aspects of emunah is that God created the whole world. Not this world, but all the worlds. There's many worlds. And this emunah, this belief in God, is also a belief that a believing non-Jew will also have, that God created the world. The second though, is emunah shahayu elokecha. This is the emunah, the belief that God is our God. That God is our God. Shu yisborach elokim v'misyachis olecha. God is connected to us. K'mo shamar, as it says, B'nei bechorei Yisrael, my children, my firstborn Yisrael, uvani matem l'Hashem Elokechem, you are children to the Lord your God. K'mo shamar hu Elokeinu, as it says, he is our God. Hu avinu, he is our Father. Hu moshienu, he has saved us. Hu yoshienu, and he will save us. If you don't believe that God chose us from all the nations, who loved us, and wanted us, who gam came pagom emunah. If you don't have that belief, your emunah is somewhat defective. In this wording, we have the two parts of emunah. Anochi Hashem, I am God. Anochi Elokecha, and I am your God. With regard to the second level of the emunah, that God is our God. With the connection to that, it was said, I brought you out of the land of Egypt. Because what happened in Yitzis Mitzrayim? Vayan Moshe answered, Vayomeru, he said, Hey, lo yaminu li. They won't listen to me. Lo yishmu b'koli. They won't believe in me. They won't listen to my voice. Ki yomeru lo nira alecha Hashem, because they'll say that God did not appear to you. HaPeirosh. The explanation of this, the option, b'vaday yisalehem emunah hakadosh baruch hu. Even though the Jews in Egypt had emunah in Hashem, because we say clearly that b'nei emunah because of their emunah they were redeemed from Mitzrayim. So what does this mean? Shari is from Aminim b'nei Aminim. We've heard this before. The children of Israel are believers, the children of believers. We call Mokom Chashash. Moshe Rabbeinu, nonetheless, Moshe Rabbeinu was suspicious. Ulai Elahem es Ramuna. Maybe they don't have the Emunah Shakadosh Baruch Hu Elokecha b'chol matzavi. That God is our God under all conditions. Afilu even when they've sunk into such a low level, 49th level of impurity. Omar, and that is why Moshe said, they won't believe me. We see in the Midrash, Shomer Yisrael Moshe, when Israel said to Moshe, Hey Chanu Nigalim, how are we going to be redeemed? This land is saturated with idol worship, Shalanu, idol worship that we too have taken part in. Vashiva Moshe answered them, if Hashem wants to redeem you, he's not going to look at your idol worship that you had, the idols that you worship. And that is the reason you are children to, if you are children to God, the fact that you're God's children does not change. No matter what happens, you are the children of God. By the strength of this Amunah, we had the exodus from Egypt. As we said farther on, people believed Yishmu, and they heard that God had redeemed the children of Israel. Even in the midst of the depravity of Egypt, the 49th level of tumah, of impurity, they still believe, nonetheless, God is our God and will redeem us. The splitting of the sea was also in this power. The cost of Zekeli van Veyu, as we say, this is my God and I will glorify him. As we say, Malchuscha, your kings, Ra'uvanecha, they will see your children, Bokeh Yom Moshe, splitting your kingdom will see your children splitting the Yam, the sea, before Moshe. Perush, what does it mean? Because Hayam lefnei Moshe, at the time that the sea was split before Moshe, Ro Yisrael, the children of Israel saw Vikiru, and they recognized Shehem Bonecha B'Atu Elohim, that you are that they were their children of God, and God was their God. As Baruch Mezbit said, Hanosech beBerachas Hamazon, the Nusach in Berachas Hamazon, Nodlecha Hashem Elokeinu al Shenichal Lavosenu. We give thank to you, Hashem, for giving to our fathers Eretz Chemda Tov Rachava, this beautiful land. Hashem Elokeinu Mitzrayim, Eretz Mitzrayim, and for taking us out of Mitzrayim. And for redeeming us from the house of slavery. And after that, we say, we thank you, Hashem. More than all the things we've just mentioned, that you've given us this land, you've taken us out of Israel. More than that, we admit to you, we thank you, al etzem hadavar because of the very fact that you are our God. And this statement that Hashem is our God, the God of Bnei Israel, and that we are his children, that is received in the heavenly spheres. The obligation of belief that you are our God. With that, because of that, we say you brought us out of Egypt. This Chame Lomer, as if to say, God decided to make Bnei Israel their people, his people, and he will be their God. They were not in Mitzrayim. Certainly, they were not the children of kings. They were in the lowest possible level. They weren't. You remember the story when the sea is asked to split. They take a look at the bedraggled Jews who've been wandering now from Egypt for a few days, and they're just dusty and frightened. And the sea says, "These are the people you want me to split the sea for?" And Hashem told the sea, you got to look. You're seeing only the outside. You have to look at the inside. This is what he's saying here. And this in the low level in Mitzrayim, Hashem chose them, chose Bnei Israel to be his people, his chosen people, chosen to him. And that's why God called Bnei Israel my firstborn, my children, Israel. If Bnei Israel had been on a very high madrega, they were like Bnei Malachim, children of kings. And if Hashem then had brought them out of Egypt, then people would have said, only because of the high madrega they were on did you bring them out. And that's not the reason. Okay, Hotziyu. Therefore, God brought them out when they were the lowest level, the horos, to show, to teach for generations, to teach for right now. This night that we're going over this Torah, no matter what the difficulty is, I am Hashem, your God. Yisrael hem am hanivchar. Bnei Israel is a chosen people. Sheben kachu ben kach korim banim, as Rabbi Meir said. No matter what we do, no matter how far we stray, we're still children of God, and you are our God. Yisrael hem am hanivchar sheben kach ben kach korim banim. Ubezeh nikva mitzios nitzchil Yisrael hem am hanivchar mchom matzav she'am. And from that it was established as the reality that reality forever, that we will be God's chosen people no matter what is happening around us. Sorry. We can say that you are our God, you were our God, you are our God, and you will be our God. That you are our God no matter what takes place, no matter what situation we're in. We can understand what Chazal tells us, B'yom Chasono, the day of our wedding, Matan Torah. That refers to the giving of the Torah, the receiving of the Torah. Heichem Rumash Matan Torah, Hayom Chatuno. So, where do we learn this hint that Matan Torah is the day of the wedding between God and Bnei Israel? Matan Torah, Makadosh Baruch Hu, Matan Torah, Hashem said, Anochi Hashem Elokecha, I am the Lord your God. Elokim Shelcha, I am your God. Zehu Yom Chatunaso, that is the day of your wedding. As Nikva Hadover Nitzchiot B'Chlal Yisrael, because that was established forever in Klal Yisrael. L'chein Nemar. Therefore, it says, that's why God says, I brought you out of Mitzrayim, below Asher Baras Yom, not that I created the world. Sorry, lo bal l'teit lahem simon. He didn't want to give us a sign, ela l'galus lahem, but to reveal to them, shebocher b'hem HaKadosh Baruch Hu mitoch shefel hamatzav. Most important lesson. He wants to reveal to us that God is our God in the midst of the greatest distress that we have. No matter how low we fall, we have that lifeline that God is giving us. God is our God. We base Avodim, He brings us out of the house of slavery. Therefore, the chosenness of the Bnei Israel by God is eternal. Adkan. That's all of this year. Any questions or comments? I must say this is the first year I've given when part of my year was under fire by rockets. I've been under fire by rockets, not in the middle of giving a cheer. So I wish everybody to be safe. All clients should be safe. Hashem Yerachim Aleinu, as he always does. And
Yeah, it's the first time I've had a shear watching missiles being blown up in the sky.
right, that's quite a light show.
Yeah,
So
totally.
So Hanasora, that's a preliminary, just a taste, if you will, of the light show that we had at Har Sinai.
Yeah,
When the Torah was given.
Exactly.
I mean, here you could see the lightning, but there you could hear the lightning and see the thunder.
Right.
And they would be zocha to be able to see that from Hashem on Shavuot as we again receive the Torah. The Torah is eternal, and it is something that we are receiving every single year, not just one time. Every year we have to receive it, and we have to be ready to do the mitzvah Anochi Hashem Elokecha in order to receive the Torah.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyway, I thank you for listening and attending. And I wish everybody a Chodesh Tov.
Chodesh Tov.
Hag Sameach, and please stay safe.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm going to
Stay safe. Safety to everyone. Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Thank you so much, Manny.
You're welcome. Chag Sameach. Be safe.
Chag Sameach. Yeah.